Hey guys, me Janelle, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I last recorded a video, and the reason for that is school. As you guys know, it happens, homework, finals. But anyway, I just wanted to do a story time about when I got invited by my friend on kind of like the fifth wheel at a bar in Hongdae before I went home, and some fuck shit went down in Hongdae. Because at the time, I didn't know he blacked out before I even got there. If you want to watch this video, please stay tuned for more. So this story takes place in Hongdae, as I said, and my friend was on a double date with her so-called boyfriend and his friend and his girlfriend. The reason why I said boyfriend, because this dude was in love with her after not even two dates, and she really wasn't interested in him like that, so she just went along with it. And by the time I met up with my friend, I had no idea that he was blackout drunk. But anyway, we're going to call my friend Rachel. We will call him Tom. We will call his friend Richard, and we will call his other girlfriend Sarah, because she was really pretty and they were nice. But anyway, so it was a Saturday when I was just sitting in my room watching TV like I always did after I did homework. I had nothing to do. So my friend decided to text me. She's like, hey, do you want to come out and drink with us in a little bit in Hongdae? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm not doing anything. So I decided I waited for them until she was like, okay, well, we want to meet now. So after she said that, I got up and I pretty much ran to the subway and I met her in Hongdae. I got off the subway and she was like, hey, you're ready to go. I got off the subway and I met up with my friend Rachel, and she led me to the bar where Tom, Richard, and Sarah already were. The bar is called Mike's Cabin, and Mike's Cabin is pretty much a place where foreigners and Koreans will hang out and interact with each other, and they're playing English music and just like all the latest hits in America or wherever. And they have really great drinks, and pretty much on the way to Mike's Cabin, Rachel lets me know. She's like, hey, before we even get there, we already had I had 4 bottles of soju and 2 bottles of beer, and I'm not really a beer person, but you already know that. And when she told me this, I'm like, oh my god, dude, Rachel, what the hell, man? And she's like, well, I just wanted to have fun, and as you know, just a heads up, Tom won't stop calling me his girlfriend, even though I'm not his girlfriend and I don't feel him like that. And I'm like, oh my god. She's like, so please just play along. I'm like, oh great, this is beautiful. So we get into Mike's Cabin, and I'm introducing, my friend Rachel's introducing me to Tom and Richard and Sarah, and everyone's like, oh, hello. And we're speaking in Korean, of course, and everyone's like, oh, hello, welcome. How do you know Rachel? I'm like, oh, well, we met through Tumblr, and we're really good friends, and we hang out a lot, almost every single day after classes we would hang out, and we're just going along, and then well, welcome to the group. So pretty much they're on a double date, and I'm the fifth wheel. I'm like, oh, whatever. My friend wanted to bring me to break the ice, because Sarah really wasn't talking a lot. So once I came, we were all talking, and we're speaking in Korean, and then they're like, oh, let's start with drinks. I'm like, oh, cool. I haven't had a single drink when I got there or before I drank, of course. But once we were all sitting down, we all been acquainted and everything, we pretty much, Rachel goes to the bar with Tom and brings beers, big cups of beer or big jugs of beer. And they're like, oh, welcome to the group. And just chugs and sits it in front of me like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. So I drank the whole thing. By the end of the night, it was insane. There was so much fucking drama before I even knew it. Excuse my language. But I drank this whole beer, and Tom was stumbling like an idiot. And he looked really dumb. Like, Quintana, is he okay? I said, I'm like, is he okay? And Rachel's like, no, he's had a little bit too much, and he just wants to drink more and have fun. And I'm like, Rachel, are you for real? This dude's already drunk and you're drinking even more. But as the night continued, we were only at Mike's Cabin for 2.5 hours, almost 3, because we got there 9 something and we left before midnight. But I didn't get home until 3:30, because this bitch's drama, I love my friend Rachel, but this bitch's drama was bullshit. And you'll find out later in the story. So as the night continues, I had 2 beers, and we're just sitting there talking some more, and Rachel and Tom kept getting up to go places, and eventually we're like, let's do shots. So I think we started out with a Jack Daniels shot, and I'm like, okay, I like Jack Daniels. We ended up doing 4 or 5 Jack Daniels shots, and then we did 2 tequila shots, and we did 2 rum shots. And it was Malibu coconut rum. I remember that specifically because that was really good and it didn't burn as bad as the tequila and the Jack Daniels. I love Jack Daniels now, but at the time I'm like, ugh. But anyway, I know it's a lot of drinks, but that wasn't the end of it. That was not the end of it. Because I had 2 beers, all those shots. So I had like almost 10 shots. Yeah, I had 9 shots. No, I lied. I had 8 shots because I had 4 Jack Daniels shots. And then I had 8 shots, which is still a lot, which makes me sound like an alcoholic. But anyway, everyone did it except for Sarah, because she stopped because she kept getting mixed drinks. I also had 2 Long Island iced teas, and I think, and a Sex on the Beach. So I had a lot to drink, but by the time we left, pretty much, I was sobering up, because the reason why we left was because Richard was at the bar for a really long time, and Sarah's like, where's Richard? And Richard's like, oh, he's at the bar. So Richard is talking to this German guy, and they're just talking. What we found out was politics. They're speaking politics, like Korean politics, like with Park Geun-hye, and he was talking about how the German prime minister is doing whatever, German president is doing whatever. And then he brings him over. He's like, oh, this is my friend Albert. Richard's like, well, Albert, this is Tom, Sarah, Janelle, and Rachel. Like, he's from Germany. He's like, he's Weegukset. I'm like, you guys, he's a foreigner. I'm like, oh, okay, so what part of Germany? He's like, oh, I'm from this part of Germany. And my friend Rachel started talking to Albert about comparing the German prime minister president to our newly elected president. I remember this very clearly because it has never left my mind. And Albert ended up saying, oh, well, I think Donald Trump is the right fit for America because blah, blah, blah. And my friend Rachel was like, I respect your opinion, but I don't think you're right because da 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 da. And all the while Rachel and Albert are talking, Tom is just like, because he was beyond blacked out drunk because everything we drank. I didn't get a hangover the next day, thank God, but he doesn't even the worst part is, he doesn't even fucking remember any of this was about to go down. So he's just giving him like this look, and Richard starts looking at Tom. He's like, dude, are you okay? And Albert's just like listening to my friend Rachel, but also looking at Tom. Is like, is he okay? And he's standing up like, why are you talking to my girl? And Rachel's like, what? He's like, why are you talking to my girl? Why are you disrespecting me? Why the fuck are you doing that? Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, fuck off. And Albert's just like, we're talking politics. I didn't know she was your girlfriend. I'm sorry for disrespecting you like that, man. It wasn't my intention to do so. And as they continue, he's just getting louder and louder, and he starts cussing at him in Korean, and we're just like, 진짜 바보야, like hajima. But anything that we said did not register. It was ridiculous. He was trying to like get up in his face and fight him, and Richard had to get in between Albert and Tom, and he's like, calm down, we're leaving. Even Albert's friends were like, dude, we're leaving. This asshole isn't worth it. And me and Rachel apologized to him, like, we're so sorry, he's so drunk, there's no excuse for it, I hope we didn't ruin your night. He's like, no, it's fine, I just wanted to be civil, and not everyone can be civil. And he tried to shake his hand for like 5 minutes, and he's just like, so they ended up leaving. And then after they started verbally arguing for like, I think almost 3 hours. I kid you not. We were sitting outside of Mike's cabin for a good 2 hours before I said I'm out, goodbye. But Richard and Sarah went their separate ways as we got Tom and all of our shit out into the street. And Richard and Sarah left because Sarah was tired. And me, Rachel, and Tom stayed outside of the bar while they argued in English, Korean, and my friend is Polish, so in Polish too. and he studied abroad in Australia, which that doesn't really have anything to do with anything. But he kept telling everyone to fuck off, and apparently that's what Australians say. I don't know, but that's what he kept saying, because he's like, well, in Australia I studied it for 2 years, so fuck off. And it's like, okay, stop. But they were swearing at each other in so many different languages, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, I'm sobering up now. I want to go home. I'm tired. This is bullshit. And they're just going back and forth like, I'm not your girlfriend. We were supposed to have fun tonight. I invited my friend to meet you for the first time, and you embarrassed me. You embarrassed me in front of Albert. You embarrassed me in front of your friends. You should be embarrassed for yourself. I have to apologize for everyone for your stupid ass. And just going back and forth in Korean and English. And I'm like, I can understand everything they're saying. And I'm like, oh. And he said some pretty nasty things to her. And I wanted to punch him. I don't know why I didn't, but I should have, because it literally made her cry. And like she hit it pretty well, but I can tell that she was crying, and I'm like, I got upset, and I'm like, let's just leave this asshole. He's not worth it. Let's just go home, get some sleep, get some water, take a shower. He's just not worth it. And she kept telling me to sit down, I'll take you home, because once she knows like everyone's like incoherent, she wants to try and play, like she wants to be like Mama Bear, and she technically is Mama Bear, even though she's younger than me by like 3 years actually. And she likes to get everyone home. Like, I live the next station away from Hongdae, but by this time the subway closed at 12:15, because once it goes that last way, it doesn't come back. So like if it's coming from like Jamshid, it goes that way. It's like once it comes a rack around, it doesn't go back. So until like morning, and then you're stuck until 5 in the morning if you don't take a taxi. But we decided to walk because we were walking back because it was cold. It was November, and the cold air would do us good walking back. So we are walking in like the popular part of Hongdae, and they're still arguing because she has to hold on him, trying to make sure that he won't like fall or bust his head open. And I'm like, I really don't give a fuck about his stupid ass at this point. Like, Tom can just go, as he always tells everyone, to fuck off. I really didn't care at that point. I was over his ass. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't like you. You're a dick. But pretty much we kept walking, and eventually I'm like, after so long like of not using the bathroom, like it goes all through you, like water, the drinks, everything goes through you. So pretty much I had to use the bathroom. I'm like, this is great. And by like 3 in the morning, I'm like, peace, I'm leaving. But before I left, he just kept saying, why are you still here? Why haven't you fucked off yet? And I'm like, you want to know what? Fine, fuck off. And I said some things in Korean, and I yelled at him. I'm like, you're a fucking selfish bastard in Korean. And I'm like, I will fine. I'm like, after being told to fuck off so many times, I'm like, fine, you fuck off. And I left. So I called the taxi. I'm like, taxi, 신촌 백화점에 가주세요. And he went to Shinchon. I paid with my T-Money card, and I went back to my Boshiwon. And as I was going up to my Boshiwon, I missed the stair, and I slammed my knee into the stair. And I didn't scream. I'm surprised I didn't, but I was crying, like hysterically. And my mom's like, are you drunk? I'm like, no, at this point I was completely sober. And people may say like, no, you're not, but I'm clumsy on my feet as it is. I always walk like a duck. So like when I slipped, because I'm just trying to run to the bathroom so I don't piss myself from all the damn drinks and all the water and shit. And I went to the bathroom, but I called my mom hysterically crying. She's like, why are you still awake? It's like I think it's like 1 p.m. where they were, in like 3:30 in Korea, or in Seoul, and it was just ridiculous. My mom was like, are you sure you're not drunk? I'm like, positive. And my friend is a mortician, and she knows human anatomy really well, which I know that is completely random, but after I was cacaoing my friend Rachel and telling her that I fell and I don't know what's wrong, and it's just a disgusting mess. And she's like, wait for me, I will come to you to examine your knee. She came, and she's like, you sprained the shit out of it. Like, what did you do? I'm like, I fell, like I told you. She's like, oh yeah, like I'm just trying to keep an eye on this asshole for he doesn't do anything stupid, because he lived in Anyang. I'm like, 2.5 hours almost. Yeah, like 2 hours by the jihad tour to get home. Like, stupid ass. Like, you shouldn't have drank so much. You was blacked out. And at the end, the next day, they stayed out all night. Like, I think they didn't even go to a hotel. My friend was exhausted because she kept an eye on his stupid ass. He sobered up and he doesn't remember a damn thing. My friend came back to get me like the same morning after around like noon or so. Oh no, they did go to a hotel. They went to a hotel and they slept for like maybe 6 hours, not even. My friend only got like 3 because she was keeping an eye on his stupid ass, like Tom's dumb ass. But once we met up again, she checked it. She's like, it's gross. Just get some bandages at the Yakuk, and Yakuk is the pharmacy. And once I got it from the pharmacy, they wrapped my leg, and I was on my merry way, and we ate lunch. But my friend didn't eat lunch because she's like, I'm really hungover, and I'm sick due to this stupid ass drinking. They had 7 gyapsal, 4 bottles of soju, mekju, like soju, beer, all those shots, all the mixed drink, all the cocktails. Like, she got really sick, but she didn't throw up, surprisingly. But anyway, that is my story time of when my friend went on her date Tom, her boyfriend Tom, begged her to go on a double date with his friends. His friend Richard and Sarah were like friend and his girlfriend were really nice people. Tom, selfish asshole. But the moral of the story is, if your friend downloads Tinder and decides to meet people off of Tinder, which you get a lot of people trying to like, hey, either you like, if you want the booty, they want to take you home to your mama, they just want like a language teacher, or they generally just want to like marry you and have babies. But he was on the I love you and I want to have babies, but he was such a disrespectful creep, and he couldn't handle his alcohol, and he didn't tell her that at the time. So the moral of the story is, just keep an eye on the people who you meet and your friends, and make sure everything is okay. And if she's telling, yeah, this guy's a little possessive, believe her, please. And I saw the signs, but she didn't really want to listen to me because she's stubborn. Even if your friend is stubborn, just try to get her not to do it, because it's not worth it. But anyway, it was quite the damn experience, and it's one that sticks out in my mind the most. But anyway, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time of when I went on, I was like the 5th wheel of a double date for my friend, and it blew up in our faces. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.